Hello, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, and it's 38 degrees here in Martinez, California, and this is the little girl report, the weather report. The little girl is sleeping in bed while Fluffy is asking, I want out. But he doesn't get out in the middle of the night when it's going to be freezing. He doesn't like the idea one bit. So, got a comment yesterday saying that perhaps I should stop or cut back spending money on the cats and deal with issues of mine. Well, let me reiterate something. The cats get fed above all. My three are in here. Fluffy is coughing and sneezing. Little girl is coughing sometimes. And of course, Fuzzy's in the closet, the fuzzy cat cave. And she's coughing and sneezing because she has a respiratory infection, I suspect. And hopefully the credit card will be here soon so I can take her to the vet. But the other kitties I feed are the three downstairs, Mama Cat, Papa Cat, and Kitten, have little beds that the Korean lady has made for them that are under cars that don't get moved a lot. They're warm beds, or at least a lot warmer than sleeping on the ground. So they all sleep in these little plastic beds with bedding in them. And eventually I will get a heat reflective pet pad for them. I looked up at Amazon for one for humans. They don't make one, but they do make a heat reflective foil, and more importantly, now I had those when my mother was alive, but somehow they went way of all things, medical sheepskin. Now I looked up Australian sheepskin, and I get a very nice pad and also a pair of earmuffs for about $25. But if you have a sheepskin on the bed and you put it in a mattress cover, because your hair gets on it and sweat gets on it and all that, you can put those on the bed and you're nice and warm all night because you're lying on nice warm sheepskin that retains heat. So that's what I'm going to get. I did look at Target. They have electric blankets, electric throws, and Walmart, they have electric blankets and electric throws. And I wouldn't get Biddeford because they have bad ratings. I had a Biddeford and it died. So I paid $200 for that thing with payments, and the damn thing stopped working. And that's the problem with electric blankets. The blankets work, but the controllers die after about a year. And then you've got a blanket that you can't use, and there's no way to get another controller unless you find one on eBay. So that's the issue with staying warm in here. Now, the other thing is I think they insulated the walls in here with shredded Ralston cereal left over from 1940. Because it's absolutely freezing in here in the wintertime and roasting in here in the summer. But getting back to the cat feeding, of course, I lost my rent money order. That didn't help. And the other issue is I'm giving Kathy $200 a month toward getting us a Prius. Now, next month, I already got the bill yesterday, and the guy at First Premier Bank was hounding me to pay it, to arrange the payment now, and I finally had to tell the guy off. Literally, he could not listen to me or would not listen to me and said, I pay it on the first of the month, period. Get off my back. What don't you understand about it? No. Because I've had companies overdraw my bank account in the past. They put it in early. Like iTunes puts my iCloud thing in early, and I bitched them. I keep having to delete my credit card and then wait till the first and put it back on. So they can't charge me the $9.95 a month. Now here are my expenses for the month for those who are interested. $200 a month to Caddy for the Prius. We came very close to getting one for $34.50. We were $300 short. The first of the month, we won't be. I've got $187 and change to pay in my First Premier card because the annual fee is due, and they charge me a late fee because I put the $47 I would have put on it. I put it on a different card because I couldn't see my screen. $20 to Massey's. I'm only required to give Capital One $25, but that way is madness because then you never pay off the principal, so I give them $50 a month. My rent's $240, but my rent is paid for until the 1st of March. And then in March, the March check, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. February and March, yeah. February and March are paid. It's paid for the 1st of April, no April Fool's joke. And the money I would spend in March, that check is already with them, and they will apply that to April. I'm doing all of this so when I go to AlienCon, I can take the $240 a month rent for June that will already have been paid and use that to pay half my hotel room bill, which is going to be about $500 for the weekend. I've never paid that in my life. And by the way, AlienCon is in June. It has not happened yet. So if you take the rent, my normal payment on this bill on the old card is about $40 a month. So you take that in Capital One, that's $290, $330. Massey's another $20, $350, $50 at PG&E. It's $400, $200 to Kathy is $600. That leaves me $300 a month. If I spend $100 on cat food, that leaves me $200 a month. But if a disaster happens, like losing my rent money order or some other thing happening, I don't have a cushion. Now, eventually, my Capital One card will be paid off. I've been charging food and cat food on it when I ran out of money. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. Then I'll start knocking off the First Premier Bank card and pay that one off. The Capital One has a $300 limit. The First Premier Bank has a $400 limit. Pay those off, not use them. And then I'll have to pay this big one that I'm getting. And it is in the mail, and I don't know when. They said it should be here by Friday. First thing I do is go take Fuzzy to the vet. Then I go get food. Then I take Kathy out to dinner. And then I buy me a couple of things. Oh, yeah, and then I order cat food. Not all in that order, but the first thing is Fuzzy. I take care of Fuzzy. And anything left, I go and buy. Then I buy cat food. Then Kathy. Then I buy me some food. Now in March, I have a church that'll give me $40 or $50 in gift cards. That will help. I have another church that gives me a $15 voucher. And there's a third place I can go to. They give me canned goods, eggs, meat. So I'll manage. Come near the end of the year, I'll get more money coming in, and that will help too. I will have saved up the money I need for the Toyota Highlander Hybrid by next December. In the meantime, I will work toward paying off my traffic fines and getting my doctor to test me for a stroke so that they make sure, no, you are not going out, Fluffy. They make sure that I can get my license back. I'd like to be able to drive again before I die. And this is for Aaron, who could not hear me on the video. That's why I need to find my Mikey mic. Or not do videos when there's noisy traffic. I went to Walmart to look for an electric blanket or fleece, heated throw, and found out they don't sell them because it's considered out of season, even though it's 32 degrees tonight. The whole Bay Area's got frost warnings since Saturday. And I'm freezing my ass off running 2 heaters in here. And it's finally warm enough to turn them off, which is going to jack up my PG&E bill, and that's $50 a month. So cat feeding is not the issue, folks. It's giving Kathy $200 a month so we can have a car. That's the issue. Once she gets a car with my doing the research, then that will drop down to about $45 a month for car insurance, which is comp and collision, uninsured motorist, and I forget what the third thing is, but it pays you if somebody hits you and drives off, and replaces your car. Now, I've helped Kathy get 3 Priuses. My mother died, I gave her money. The first Prius, I helped give her money. The second Prius, I gave her money, and this one. This is the last. If this gets wrecked, I've told Kathy, that's it. I'm not buying you any more cars. I can't afford it. I need to start thinking about me. So, but the cats outside have no other food sources. They're not running around eating lizards or mice or rats, because the raccoons around her eat everything that moves. They eat fish and minnows and birds, and they have been known, not here, but they've known to attack and kill cats and dogs and eat them, and I've seen them kill a goose. So there are no prey for the cats to eat. Now, Tiny One is not here. She's back where she was staying. I got to pet her at length last night, and I've got to put the cat flea medication on her and give her Capstar so that she gets rid of the fleas. Because when she came in here, I had gotten rid of the fleas, and the fleas abounded again. And no, I don't have fleas. I'm just itching. So I will give her the flea medication, and that will help. And eventually I want her back in here. Now I'm still hoping to get my land and build my container house. But if it's not buildable in the location I want to do it on, I'll have to find somewhere else. But once I do that land and build the container house and spend that money after I've gotten the 4x4, then I'll have the land payments to make. But once the initial first container is in, I could live in that, although I'm thinking of trying to buy a used motorhome to live in that while the construction is going on with Abram's help. And if we get the 4 containers in a rectangle, what I'd really like to do, I found a place with really cheap shipping containers and under $1,000. So if I were to get 4 of those and make a double where they're double wide like this, and then put those in a rectangle, that would give me 80 feet of space lengthwise. And I don't know how wide a shipping container is, but I'd have an awful lot of room if we cut out the walls. You keep some, of course, to support the roof. And I'm thinking of having one to where I do the central courtyard idea, interior courtyard, having the metal raise up and support it with rods, and then at night take it down, or put in a rolling door or a sliding door with triple insulated glass. There's ways to do this. And then the next thing, after I build the initial house, put in the solar, put in a water source, is to do a greenhouse. I've watched some videos where they have these incredible greenhouses for about $2,000, and the guy had 300 plants growing in there, and they weren't pot plants. They were tomatoes and carrots and onions and bell pepper and all kinds of stuff. And I had an argument with Maroney that one man could not feed himself with a vegetable garden. And I told Maroney he was being an idiot, and he was. You can feed yourself quite well if you have a greenhouse, and your whole family. So that's where I stand right now. In 2020, I'll be going back to Pittsburgh, and I'll have my 4x4, and I'll probably have my license back, and then we'll go from there. And I'd like to get out of this cramped apartment, into my container house. If I have to, I put all the books except the paranormal books in storage in another container. And I found a video of put shelves in the containers. I put them all on the shelves, and build another container for, that was my mobile strike notification. I was trying to read what it was. Build another container for storing food. So that's secure. And I talked to the county I wanted to move to, and they said you have to make sure it's buildable. They said there's no variances for not putting in a septic system, but I'm going to try wherever I go to put in an incinerating toilet, so I won't have to put in a septic system, and I may be the first person not to be required to have a septic tank on my property. And I think it's stupid if you have a way to get around the septic tank to have them make you put a septic tank in when it's not needed. An incinerating toilet doesn't require but 1 cup of water a week to clean it out, and that gets incinerated as well. It gets evaporated. All right, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, with the state of the finances and the Aaron recap. Bye-bye for now, and have a great morning, and try to stay warm and safe out there if you can.